great. Put you down, Jude, if you could let us know the dates.
Absolutely, as soon as I know, I'll relay that to, do you want me to go to Dawn?
Yeah, that would be fine, and she'll relate to Parks, Bob, and Scott.
Okay, thank you very
Okay,
much.
great, awesome. All right, then I make a motion to approve the use of facilities for Boston Rebels.
I second that.
Councilman Munger,
Aye.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Bello,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 13, Boston Emergency Squad appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have two new appointments for the Boston Emergency Squad. The first one would be Bradford Smith. At their April 13th, 2016 meeting, there's a letter indicating their intent to join and become a member of the Boston Emergency Squad. And the second individual from the April 13th meeting would be Paul Zaprowski-Carl. Carl? Sorry.
Didn't crawl.
Thanks. Sorry. I'd like to make a motion to approve both those individuals to join the Boston Emergency Squad.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Aye.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Bello,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 5, old business, resolution 2016-06, office safety. The resolution 2016-06, office safety, town of Boston resolution. Whereas the town of Boston, whereas the New York State town law, hereinafter town law, provides the town board the management, custodian, and control of all town lands, buildings, and property, and where the town board firmly believes that all aspects of the town government be open and accessible to the general public, and whereas the town board uses its best efforts to provide a work environment that is safe for all town employees, and where the New York State provides guidance on actions the town could take to make the work environment as safe as possible. And where certain town officers and/or employees have been covering interior windows with big covering to block views into the offices. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Boston hereby finds that an open, accessible, and safe work environment is the best interest of the general public, residents of the town of Boston, and town Boston officials, officers, employees, and be it further resolved, the town of Boston officials, officers, and employees do not cover office windows and doors and glass partitions with a complete covering designed to and in order to restrict the public's view into their offices, and be further resolved that the supervisor or designated and authorized to remove any such coverings and keep possessions of any such coverings for 24 hours in period, so that any official, officer, and/or employee who claims the ownership of such covering may recover it, and be further resolved, if any such covering is not recovered by its actual or perpetrated owner within 24 hours, the supervisor is authorized to dispose of it in any appropriate fashion. Make a motion to accept this resolution 2016 as office safety town of Boston resolution.
And I second that, Mr. Supervisor.
Councilman Munger,
No.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Bello,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
No.
Motion's carried.
Item number 2 is fob system quotes. Councilman Boardway.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, and going right along with the theme of safety in our building. We have, as everybody is aware, investigated a fob system for the building. What this does, it provides access and control to the building and the various offices within the building. It's a lot cheaper than replacing keys all the time and having locks rekeyed, things like that. The supervisor's office will have control over the use of this system and the distribution of any of the fob system keys for accessing and ingress into the building. Also helps us more efficiently serve the constituents in the town who use the building, because we'll be able to issue a key fob to them that'll give them access that they need within the confines of the building, and the part of the building they're allowed to use. We can set the dates and times when that is actually active. At this point in time, we've secured 4 separate and distinct quotes on this. We've actually gone back. I want to thank Councilman Munger, Councilman Keating for their questions, and Dawn and the staff downstairs for further investigation and tracking down the different nuances between these systems to make sure we're actually bidding on like systems across the board. Of the 4, we did receive a quote from a Maximum Security in the amount of $18,575. Eastern States Sentinel for $18,100. Life Safety has offered us 2 separate options, one $22,450, and the second one $24,520. And Buffalo Alarm Company has offered us a quote in the amount of $18,800. Again, reviewing all of these different options, I make a motion at this time to award the bid to Eastern States Sentinel in the amount of $18,100.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
No.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating,
I can key a lot of locks for $18,000, no.
motion's carried.
Item number 6, reports and presentations. Town clerk.
Completely nuts.
Highway Super.
Yes. Tonight I'm going to start with parks. I'm the park superintendent, and I'd like to ask the board about getting a new tractor. The parks workers say the one we got is approximately a 2008. It's got approximately 2,300 hours, and it's still a good tractor, but it's seen its better days, and they're looking to update. The new tractor's on state bid. The new tractor costs $10,462.38. The trade-in for the old tractor, the 2008, they're giving us $2,462.38, so the cost of the new tractor is going to cost us $8,000. So I'd like to ask permission for the board to go ahead and purchase a new tractor for the Parks Department.
I'll make a motion to authorize Parks Department Superintendent T-Lack to purchase a new tractor off of the state bid.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Aye.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And this is the first week that all 3 parks workers are back. They're doing cleanup on the lawns and getting ball diamonds ready, and they're going to start mulching all the flower beds. The highway department went today and bought a load of the black mulch this year. We're going to go with the black mulch like we had a couple years ago. It's definitely nicer than what we had last year. So parks workers are busy. They got a lot to do with lawn rolling and cleanup and a lot of things going on. So that's the parks department. As far as the highway department, as far as brush pickup, the guys have done every road in town 3 times so far. We'll be around at least one more time. 1st of May, we'll do every road in town at least once. I'd appreciate it if you get the brush out early in May, because once we start blacktopping, we might not be out chipping brush unless we get a rain day, and we might get out. But please get it out as early as you can. The guys this winter worked on building a new drag paver. It's our second one. We built one about 7-8 years ago. This one's a little nicer, a little wider. It's just, the whole thing is, it's brand new and it's very nice. The guys did a great job fabricating the whole thing. They built it from scratch. So they did quite good. Other than that, we do have wood chips available. We're still chipping brush, so we do have some wood chips available, and we still have a little bit of fill available, and that's all I have tonight.
Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have been made aware of a quite large log jam right near the bridge on Eckert Road. We will be taking bids on that to get that cleared up and get the creek flowing properly. Other than that, Mr. Supervisor, I have nothing.
Councilman Genzel.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As your engineering liaison, I met with Jim Hannon, our town engineer, our grant writer, Connie Miner. We received FEMA money for the November storm. We've got the final plans and bidding documents for the pavement of the town hall parking lot. We're going to hog out and repave. That is going to be paid for by FEMA. We also decided it's probably a smart move to put curbing in at this time because as you park out front, you see that it's muddy in between the pavement and the grass. And this will clean it up and it'll be there for a while. So we're going to go ahead and add that into the bid. The town will be paying for the curbing, but FEMA will be paying for the asphalt. Now anybody knows about construction knows the asphalt plant's open and everybody's in a rush to get asphalt. So we'd like to move this along. We did have a June 30th final construction date that was given to us by FEMA, but they have extended that. Now they extended it to everybody who gets FEMA money for that November storm. So we've got momentum, we've got everything together, so at the next meeting we're going to bring to the board authorization to advertise. This is a project we have to advertise for bid, and it will be a sealed bid. There will be documents available for the contractors to pick up and review, and then they can provide their sealed bids. I will be at the bid opening, so will our town engineer, possibly our grant writer. So that's ready to roll. Along those lines, there's also about 20-some spots on town roads within the town that need some work done in certain areas because of the November storm. Again, FEMA's paying for that money because our road was damaged from that storm. So that will be a separate bid. Same thing, bidding documents. We'll come to the table and we'll open them, and the lowest bidder will get it. That's the way the process goes. Jim Hannon has everything together. He's done a fantastic job. So we've worked together on those two projects. As your fire company liaison, on April 2nd, I had the honor of swearing in the new officers of the Patchen Fire Company. Along that line, my father's been a member there for 49 years. He's been a member of the Patchen Fire Company longer than I've been alive, so I certainly do know what it's like to be, when the bell rings in the middle of the night, he goes. So he's 74 years old now, and I really appreciate all his help. The Boston Fire Company's holding their annual gun raffle this Saturday. I know tickets are sold out, but they still have many, many floor raffles. So if you didn't get a ticket, you still can go and win a gun. I've been successful on a floor raffle, so don't think you can't win a gun. So let's get out there and support our local fire company. It's their biggest fundraiser. They do a fantastic job. We have a couple of their members here in the audience. We appreciate everything you guys do, and I look forward to that event. The next best thing to a gun raffle is a meat raffle. And the Patchen Fire Company's holding their it's not their annual, but it's their semi-annual meat raffle on the 30th of April. So let's get out there, support our local fire companies. There's a lot of good meat to be won. Go ahead, Ms. T-Mac.
On the gun raffle, if you don't have a ticket though, do you have to pay to get in to go to the gun raffle?
$15.
Okay.
That-
That'll include your meal and, drinks and meal.
Okay,
How
thank
And
you.
you can get it any side raffles. Yes.
Yeah, not the people go there and want free food and beer, right? Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Good question.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. So the meat raffle, so let's get out. There's a lot of good meat to be won. I participate in that event every time I'm in town. So it's a good fundraiser for the Patchen Fire Company. It's a good time. Mr. Hawkins has been a member there in the past. He can attest to how much work it is, and those members have to go there and volunteer and do that, and we have to show our support. Also, this weekend is your volunteer fireman, recruitment weekend, where they will have open houses. I know Patchen's having one. Ed,
No, we can't with the gun raffle.
you've got your gun raffle.
We're gonna probably do one in the fall.
Yeah.
Normally we would, but.
North Boston. We'll have an open door policy. We can come in, meet the members, check out the equipment. Think about volunteering. It's a lot of work, and these guys, go to a lot of training.
They just do a fantastic job in this town. We're well protected, we have a good group of volunteers. Grant liaison, like I said, I met with Jim Hannon, County Minor, and the supervisor 2 weeks ago. We discussed 4 different grants I have going on. The FEMA grant, there's also a new parks grant coming out. That's a $100,000 award, a grant for our parks. So we've got some interesting plans that if it all comes together, I think it's going to be a real nice increase to our parks. So I'll be giving you more information after I meet this week with Connie again. The New York State Water Grant Program, and I think Mr. Laskowski would be quite interested in this one. In this year's budget, they gave an additional $100 million for the water grant program. Now, the people up on the West Hill know I've been an advocate for water up there for years. Unfortunately, in the past, the whole area was made a district. So, we've got a lot of people up there paying a fee and not getting any water. It's one thing I want to do before I leave here is to get some of those people some water up there. So we will be filling out an application. Next week we're meeting with Connie and Jim to try and get a grant for, this grant does allow for new lines. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. The first round of grants are going to be coming out. The application is due June 20th. 2 good people on it. Connie's been, an excellent grant writer for a lot of years. We really appreciate everything she does. Jim Hannon's an excellent engineer, so we're gonna go all out and try and get some water up there to some people. I'm just busy. This new grant liaison position keeps you busy. It keeps contact with the grant writer so that we can take advantage of all these grants that are out there. We're still waiting on, the money for the North Boston bathroom facility. It's there, it's in DASNY, but it's really tough to squeeze money out of the state, but we're on top of it. So as soon as you see the money come in, we're going to build that new bathroom up there. I guess that's about it, all I have for tonight. Mr. Supervisor, I was absent 2 meetings ago. I was on vacation with my family, so you'll have to excuse me for that absence, but it is an absence. And always, we're looking for members for all our boards. Please submit an application to the town if anybody'd like to volunteer for planning, assessment, board of assessment review, ethics board. We have openings on all of them. We sure like to see quality individuals apply. Thank you very much, folks, and thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman Boardman.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Nothing to report.
Thank you, Councilman Keenan.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. One of the things that was recently installed, some people may have already seen it, is Waste Management happened to have an additional solar trash compactor in their facilities. There's been one out by the Lion Shelter. There was one in front of the town hall, which was moved out back now, correct? And you'll see another one out by the pavilion by the Snack Shack. We had great response from them. Like I said, Waste Management was more than happy to put it in for us. It's out there, and I'm sure it'll get a lot of use with the sports going on. Following up with Tony from Waste Management, who's the route manager that covers our territory. One reminder he wanted to put out there, he sees it happen a lot, is that pizza boxes are not recyclables. They're considered trash. Unfortunately, once that grease and food touch that cardboard, it is no longer considered clean cardboard. So just an FYI, because he's actually received calls from residents complaining that the guys are actually taking the pizza boxes out of the recycling bin and putting it in the trash because, in fact, it is trash. So now we're all on the same page. I do want to say that we have had some problems with Erie County, so I wanted to report something good. In regards to Erie County, on my way into work on Monday, April 4th, everybody remembers that was the morning that everything was coated with ice. On my way into work, on the far end of FedEx over by North Boston Road, I passed a Waste Management truck which was stuck going up that incline. I called over to the Hamburg Town Barn, and they said they could get a truck out to them within 10 minutes. And sure enough, within 10 minutes, there was a plow truck there dropping salt to get them out of there. So giving credit where credit's due, thanks to the county, they actually got the Waste Management folks out of the bind. Everybody probably remembers the 911 outage back on March 30th. It was roughly a 4-hour outage, which was due to the system failure, essentially a heating system failure within the room where the 911 system is actually located, where the servers are. I reached out to the Boston Emergency Squad and some of the other local areas, kind of as a, just from some of my background is a disaster recovery, what happens if this were to happen again, heaven forbid it does. But you can always reach, there's Hamrick Dispatch, they do have a public number. You can always reach out to Erie County Sheriff and State Police. Those are all your kind of go-tos if, in fact, you know that it's, the 911 system is down. Obviously, always please call 911 first. They have the technology to be able to bring up your address and other pertinent information that the responders need to get to your location. However, yeah, there are other outlets out there. I've been asked that as a kind of liaison to the emergency squad. One other piece of information I did want to respond on in regards to that is when you do dial 911 from a cell phone, that dispatch goes to out to Buffalo. Not everybody's aware of that, but that does happen. So just an FYI, we'll be dealing with Buffalo Dispatch if you dial 911. Conservation Advisory Council, our next meeting is Wednesday, May 11th. Upcoming fishing derby, Saturday before Mother's Day. You should be seeing the sign out here in the next couple weeks out in front of the town hall and other signs posted out through different businesses and small businesses in the town. On Thursday, March 31st, we restocked the 18-Mile Creek with a bunch of brown trout. I believe the number was a little over 800 brown trout that we stocked the creek with, so hopefully there'll be some good fishing out there this year. And finally, I've been working with NEST, which is the Northeast South Towns group with Erie County Solid Waste Management. I'm trying to work on a program. I've reached out to other departments. We're working on trying to create a recycling event that partners not only with our town, but let's say with Eden, Colden, and other surrounding municipalities. It's a large expense that we as the taxpayer would essentially have to pay. One of my ideas when I partnered with Gary Carroll on this is that if we can all combine our funds into one event, we can essentially diversify that cost, spread it out. Everybody pays less, but we get the better bang for the buck. Based on statistical data that Erie County has, roughly within a 10 to 15 mile radius is what is essentially the draw for any recycling event, whether it's up at Erie County Community College, North Campus, South Campus, etc. So those are the things that we also have to take into account when we're looking at those logistics. But it is something that Gary Carroll and I are working on. Let's see, additional information out there that I have, I just saw an email come through my town email. Legislator John Mills is holding his 10th annual hot dog roast here in our town library, down at Boston Library. It's going to be Thursday, June 16th from 5:30 until 7:30. And last but not least, from our dog control officer, he is going to be going around and doing the annual dog enumeration, which essentially is him coming up to your house or walking on your property and checking to see if you have any dogs, if so, how many, and whether or not they're actually licensed with the state of New York through agriculture markets. So I want to let everybody know that if you see a dog control officer out and about and he's walking up to your house, he's probably going to be doing a quick checkup on how many dogs you have and if they're in fact licensed. And that is all I have, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Under the Supervisor's report, received the Town of Boston schedule of investments at Evans National Bank on high yield savings account. These are multiple accounts we have with the bank, totaling $5,552,654.52. Our monthly interest earned was $849.78. Not $5 million. Also received income statement for the period ending 2015-16, 3/31/2/16. Also received in the packet too is the town clerk's monthly report. And we also received code enforcement's monthly report. Under the supervisor report, we have multiple projects that we're working on, all of us within the town, from websites to ponds to related to the other council. Boardway's working on highway, which was under FEMA for the roof there. We had issues on that. FEMA gave us money to redo the roofs on that, so Councilman Boardway said he'd help take on that project too. Councilman Keating's going to take on another project across the street. And those are all big projects on top of our normal stuff we're doing and involved in our clubs and everything else. Also under the supervisor's report, I know there's a lot of questions that what kind of security, what we do within this town. We had a discussion downstairs. I was able to talk to the councilman downstairs about what the town does in security. And There was questions of why we do what we do. Typically, I don't want to go into these things, but the town board takes the security seriously. I myself do. Was affected by it with 9/11 through my wife's cousin, very close to our family, died in Shanksville in the plane there. So when we came on board, we made it, or I made it, one of my personal things to do. I started with rec department, working with Mr. Telak, and what we could do to make the kids safe around here. We went from colored shirts to the kids to different colored shirts to the camp advisors. We went to putting on Highway Superintendent Telak's building. We put camera systems around the building. We had illegal dumping back there. That controlled that, that stopped that issue. As people remember, we had a dump truck that came down Leela Road, came through Mr. Wachowski's yard, came through, ended up in the back with a trailer on it, lost its brakes. That was a day of wreck, was here, 160 kids, but it happened just before they were coming to lunch to walk over there, because typically they'll walk from that building over to this building. So we put ballards in, costing the town $9,000 in different ballards around the place, actually more than cost for different places around here to make sure that people were safe. We put up different lighting, from regular lighting to LED lighting to brighten it up. We put camera systems on this building to the building next door. We went as far as our banking institutes that dealt with the town, where we would take money down to the bank and make deposits of large amounts. If they wanted to do business with this town of Boston, they had to provide armored car service, which they do, for pickups. So when we're talking about safety, I take it very seriously. I will go to great extents to make sure the building's safe. I will cut holes in extra glasses so people can be through. I don't really have anything to hide or anything to do. If people want to stand outside the door and listen, they're more than welcome to. If I've toured other towns and went through their towns, looked at their doors, looked at their buildings, looked at their fob systems. I can't find a town hall pretty much around Hamburg or through the other towns that don't have these fob systems within the town. I had this discussion downstairs with our councilman about safety in our town, and we will keep progressing on safety within our town to do these things. From speed bumps in the parking lot that were never there to lines striping that was never done in the parking lots for where cars park. So I will keep pushing forward this on this issue and the next issue and the next issue that arises, and keep going to. I think it's money well spent, and I think it benefits everybody, because all I need is somebody to get hurt or somebody to do something. We have a lawsuit against the town, and then all of a sudden, the $2,000 in ballards I spend for the best interest of the town, or the sidewalks that I fixed that had bumps in them so there weren't slip and falls or trips in there, saves the taxpayers money. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that people have after a meeting again with this. So with that, I have nothing else to report, and I make a motion to close the meeting. Second.
Councilman Munger,
Aye.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Gallo,
Yes.
Councilman Worthley,
Yes?
Councilman Keating,
Yes.
carried.
Meeting adjourned.
What's the date?
I don't know.